And here we are. And we're just going to get the obligatory Ashley hates her background out of the way.
But I like
She
my
likes her,
book. It's
yeah, she
pretty.
likes her pretty book.
It's pretty.
I would show you mine, but Emily's over there trying to remember what the hell the book's about.
It's too early for spoilers.
She's trying to spoil it herself because she don't remember. She read it a month
She
ago.
read at the I'm gonna say she read at the beginning of the month, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I read it at the end of May, and we're mid-June right now.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I waited for mine. When did I read this book?
Like maybe a week before me, and I read it last week.
So like 2 weeks ago.
These are all the whole month.
This was the only book that I did not read during.
The month of
Yes,
the book club. Yeah.
yes, this was the only one.
This
Where's
is
my
the
book?
latest I've read a book. Now, not in terms of closeness to the live show, because we know I
Mhm.
finished it within an hour of previous books before the live show. But I read it pretty quickly last week.
That's
Oh,
still dark
you went full dark. Yeah, you're gonna have to blind yourself.
because this thing is so bright. Like it doesn't
You'll get it
adjust or
figured out. You'll have that basement looking great, but you definitely look miserable.
cheers to a new home.
But it's a nice one.
It is. Life has been lifing, but it is
Yeah.
great. Everything is all good. Um, yeah, just adjusting.
We should probably catch everybody up since it's been so long.
Too long.
We've been away because, as she said, life has been lifing, sports, parenthood, careers, just personal everything else. We haven't filmed a podcast episode in over a month,
Oh
which makes me
man,
really sad.
it is painful. We have
But
to figure out something soon.
well, in 2 weeks we'll be on vacation, and then 2 weeks
So
after
maybe
that
like
we go on another vacation.
maybe next week.
We can figure sometime, even if it's just pop here again, pop on live, and
Yeah,
get
just
some
like
people going.
a chitty chat.
Because I
Yeah.
got a lot of books to talk about. Listen, you know how my monthly recaps go, and now we're more than a month, and I'm like,
Oh my goodness. Yeah. See, that's the thing.
I'm gonna have like 40 books.
We would have to do like a quadruple recap.
It would take my session alone will be in over an hour.
Yeah. But you know what? For the month, what month are we in? June? I'm
Yeah,
actually doing pretty good for June.
that's good.
I think I'm at, I want to say maybe 5 books so far.
As of the end of tonight, because I'm almost done with The Road, um,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at book 80 for the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have definitely, I'm on book 32 for the year.
I think you and Emily are like right there. I think Emily's at
Uh-huh.
30.
I'm at 31.
Oh, she's at 31. So you guys are like right neck and
Okay.
neck.
See, that's great. That's perfect.
In this month alone, I've finished, looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books and a graphic novel.
Oh, that's really good.
So, and then I've got this stack. All my library books have to be gone before we go on vacation. So I have
Mm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 books.
You got a lot of reading to do.
I know, but some of them I think aren't gonna work out and will get DNF'd. So
Do you have them all on audio or they're just actual legit physical books?
that's my problem. I would have finished some of these last month, but I ran out of. I was I was stretching those audiobook credits between Spotify. I re-signed up for Amazon Music just so I could get that free audiobook.
Really?
Like,
You weren't playing.
and I actually purchased 2 top-ups from Spotify because I
Okay.
needed to finish a couple books and I thought I had enough time. And so then when
Hmm.
I purchased a top up, I was like, oh, well, now I've only used an hour of it, so I'll use it. And then I got another like 12-hour book, so I had to buy a second one to finish the book.
How much are the
And
top offs, and how much do you get?
you get 10 hours for $12.99, but those roll over, so you can keep those
So
up to
like,
a year.
one book, pretty much.
Yeah, if you time it right, because you can get it with your 15 hours, you'll use your 15 hours up first,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And then
it'll
it'll go
kick
into
into
like the
that.
bank.
Yeah.
It's cold down here. I should have bought a blanket.
Listen, she's not here with us. She is in I'm upset about where I'm at mode.
I am, because I really thought that I was going to be in the living room, but as long as the kid's happy, he's
Yeah.
watching his wrestling and singing extra loud. But the good thing
You'll get
is,
your space.
you can't hear anybody though, right?
That is
So
true.
that is nice. You don't
You
hear
can
anyone.
fully separate,
Yes,
even
we
if it
have
is in the
room to
dungeon.
separate now. I even thought about like actually going upstairs, and I was like, no, I don't want to go upstairs. I'll just come out here. So next one, hopefully, I have something where even if I just make myself a box
Yeah.
and sit in the box, so you don't see the ugly ceiling stuff.
Don't worry about it. We're not here for I got 32 pairs of glasses hanging behind me.
And my
So,
glasses are anti-glare, but you can still kind of see them.
yeah, those never work like they say they do. Mine's anti-glare too, and look at that.
They work for like when you're doing like regular Zooms and stuff like with work, you can't see the glares there. But why?
Well,
It's because this light hates me.
yeah, you got God's light right there. So he said, "Let there
So
be light," and you went blinded.
well, see, I was thinking my little lantern would be okay. I got a lantern, but I think the battery might be dying. I think
Okay,
Cammy played with it too much.
we are off the rails, but that's okay.
This is what happens when we have lives at night.
We talk quite often, but like even
Hmm.
with us being so busy, I think we went like a good chunk of the week not talking
Hmm.
because we've just been so busy. And
Just tunnel vision, just
yeah,
family stuff going on, and with him playing baseball, like that really just I didn't think it would add, extra, but I thought it was just like a little bit. No, it's a lot of
I
it.
told you baseball parents got it rough
It's
because
a
like
lot of it.
it's wet in the beginning of the year, and then you're
Hmm.
making up games, so you're doing double headers, triple headers, and that's a lot for what is
Well,
he, 7?
we haven't had any of those, so that's the good thing. We haven't had any. We do have, I think, three makeup games that we're supposed to have, but I haven't had those scheduled or anything yet. But it's just like he has something every Monday and Wednesday, and those are usually my office days.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, wait, let's adjust.
it's rough.
Yes, but it's good. He loves it. So.
I was joking earlier. You guys didn't go to baseball practice, and
No.
we decided to go see a friend's daughter's softball game. So we
Okay.
were at the ballpark when you were supposed to be at the ballpark.
Yeah, no, he definitely said, no, I don't want to go. And I was like, you know what? Mommy's going to support that one today.
Yeah, yeah.
He
It was
had
good for
water
us.
day.
We had there's like all the parents, because like the kids are in like school now, and
Hmm.
so all the parents, you get to know them over the years, and Sophie's got all these little girls that she's hanging out with, and then she got
Oh,
invited to a birthday party, and we're planning, pool days. Like you catch up with all the parents, you're not even paying attention to the darn game, but
yeah. Hmm.
um, my son's running off with friends from school that happen to be there, and it's just such a good time.
That's awesome. That's good.
But then I was like, we gotta go. Like I rolled into the house at 8:03 and ran upstairs to
Oh,
get this
wow.
all situated.
Okay. Well, it
So
worked out perfect.
we're here. We're
Yes,
fine.
we are. We finally made it.
And we are talking about this book today.
Our Infinite Faith by
You
Laura
can you throw it without
Stevens.
hurting me?
I don't know.
Y'all pray for me if she hits
Okay,
me.
I'm gonna throw this. You ready? 1, 3.
Good catch. There we go.
Am I not mirrored?
I don't know. No, I see yours. It's fine.
Okay, well, it's not mirrored to me, so as long as it looked good to you.
Nope, it's good.
I knocked my mic cover off. All right, so we're gonna dive in now. It's been 10 minutes. We
Yes.
got all our jitters out. We've complained about the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already uncomfortable in my chair, but it is what it is.
It's
Um,
A-okay.
our Infinite Fates was, I don't know, it was unexpected for me because everybody, all the comps and everything were Addie LaRue, so like I was looking forward to this,
Mm-hmm.
and then I found out it was YA, and I didn't want to read it, but it's our book club. I'm gonna read
Yes.
the book.
I was still a little worried about it being YA once we like actually found out. And of course, you were the one that pointed out that it was YA because in our last one
Because
I
you're a
was like, yeah, the
sticker.
book, and you was like the sticker, and I was like, wait, what do you mean? So I didn't
Yeah.
realize that it was YA either. This was one of the books that I bought for my birthday book haul, and I only bought it because it was literally gorgeous. I didn't
It's a
know
pretty
anything
book.
about the book. It was the burgundy and the gold for me, the sprayed edges, the inside, got to do a little tour of the book.
Yeah, I've got
That
sprayed
was,
edges, but I don't have. This is a library copy, but I don't
uh,
have the end
no,
papers.
it was gorgeous. How can you not? That's just gorgeous. So I bought it, not, knowing that I would actually read it, but
Well, thanks to the book club, we all voted, and I thought for sure this one was going to win either way, and I think I voted against something else, but I knew
mhm.
it was going to win. We
I
put
don't
the power
remember
back
what
into
we,
the hands of the club, so
I don't remember what the other ones were that we put it against.
I don't know. We didn't stack it, that's for sure, because we didn't even
Mm-mm,
end up putting a poll up for June because everybody was like,
mm-mm.
"No, we want,"
We
and
knew what we wanted for June.
we'll talk about it at the end of this. But
I plan to actually read that one soon.
Emily started it last night and then fell asleep 2 pages in. Not because of the book, but because
Team
we're just
M,
tired.
TM. That's my
So,
girl.
so yeah, so even V.E. Schwab is even on the cover in the blurb,
Hmm.
Addie LaRue vibes, and so I started reading it and listening to it, and the writing is really, I really enjoyed the writing, and oh man, I'm gonna have to look up who was posting in Fable. Was it Shailene? Um, I gotta check our book club.
I can't see Fable because I'm on my phone.
Oh, fair. I'm pulling it up. So it was, yeah, Shailene was posting all on here, and the quotes are so good. And thank
Yeah,
goodness
that
she
was the
was
one about the quotes.
killing it. Now
Hmm.
they tagged all the quotes wrong because we had switched over to the new book by the time she was reading it. So even though she's
Oh,
posting the quotes from Our Infinite Fates, it's going to our new book club pick, but this was used a lot throughout the book, so I thought this was fitting. The quote is, "I love you, and I have loved you, and I will love you," and that was it. It appears throughout the book so many times, but like this is a really good, sweet love story, which is what Addie LaRue kind of ended up being, and the writing was fantastic. However, we'll talk about it.
it was fluffy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was repetitive.
Fluffy. Fluffy.
It got old fast, and then it changed, and it was the end of the book. So it wasn't a bad read, But I guess we should talk about what the book is about.
Okay. Do you want
Um,
me to read? You want me to read the summary?
yeah, sure.
Okay. In Our Infinite Fates, Laura Stephen delivers a gripping romantic fantasy packed with magic, danger, and heart. The story follows two rivals embroiled in a deadly magical competition who must decide where their loyalties truly lie when fate intertwines their destinies. With sharp banter, sizzling chemistry, and plenty of twists, this novel explores themes of ambition, love, betrayal, and what it means to choose your own future.
I like it.
Yeah.
Um, it had so
Yes,
much
I just
premise.
read it.
Yeah, I like it. It had so much promise. It was beautifully written. I This isn't Laura Stevens' first book. However, I think it might be her YA debut. I think she wrote adult stuff before. I could be getting that wrong. But it was it was something that like I could see myself reading another book by this author. Um I enjoyed the writing. I thought the characters really were good. They had some humor to them. Um, the style and the format of the book was good. Just every bit about the book was pretty decent, other than the fact that the chapters get really confusing because they just keep saying where they're at and what year it is.
I hated that.
Like, I need to know, like, when I'm listening to an audiobook, like, which Wales 2022 am I in? Because
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
that was so annoying for me because I did a lot of my time actually listening to it. And okay, 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 enjoy. Bye bye. Just letting me know he was leaving. Sorry.
Okay, no
It
problem.
did get very annoying for me because it was like I was listening to it while I was working, or actually, no, I was unpacking the house when I listened to this one. And I was like, okay. But then I wanted to follow along in the evening. I'm like, well, crap, where am I at? So I'm sitting
Yeah.
there like tapping on my Kindle, trying to figure out which whales, like you said, which whales am I in? And then I was like, oh, yeah, there's this one random, it was like one random thing. It was like the only one that was in this area. I don't remember where it was. But I was like, oh, yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, that's the only way I found my place because it was
Yeah.
like, was it Soviet or something? It was something.
In the Siberia one?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
wasn't that many of those.
No, I
So,
think they referenced that one frequently, but they only talked about it the one time because that was a special time.
hmm,
And they talked about Constantinople. I think that was only in there once.
yeah,
A
and don't
couple other
ask me
places.
what actually went through in those because I don't remember.
That's because it was very formulaic. It was very much like we get cut back. You're introduced to the character at this point. Enter in who she's just like nervous. Who is Arden? Who's Arden? Which one of you is really Arden? Arden shows
Hmm.
up, they die, and then it goes back to 2022. And you're just like, how many
Yeah,
times are
there
we
was
going
a
to do this?
lot. Yeah, that was there was it was a lot of that, and it wasn't what I was necessarily expecting. I thought I feel like I need to stop going into these books with expectations because I did think that it was kind of like more like Addie. Where Addie, had some, it seemed like some action and some mystery to it. You're like, oh, what's going on? And for this one, it was just, like you said, it was repetitive. Like,
Mhm.
okay, so where's so and so? Is so and so going to show up as a woman, or is so and so gonna,
Yeah.
like that threw me for a loop because I was like, wait, what?
I enjoyed how the author used that to create. So normally you have the opportunity to create representation in your books through character work, and
Hmm.
she had the unique opportunity to make Arden and good lord, what is that girl's name? Emmeline? What's her name? Evelyn? Evelyn.
I don't remember names.
Evelyn. I don't remember her name.
I had it on
Evelyn.
Kindle Unlimited, and it's no longer on my Kindle because I returned it. So
Fair.
I don't have my notes.
Um, So yeah, she allowed them to like sometimes they were in a queer couple, male male, female female. Sometimes they talked a lot about how she's like, do you feel more in home in a boy body or a female body? And
Hmm.
it was very much like I feel comfortable as me, like I'm just me, my body's just a vessel. And like that's
Hmm.
good representation for trans folks, great queer representation, just like a lot of love and acceptance. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I do agree. It did have. I did like the creativity in this one, and like you said, being able to, bring everything together and all the things. But it was fluffy.
But we know, see, here's the thing. You be broken. So
I've
I
been
can only
broken.
take that so far because you sometimes you'll be like, this book was too slow, and then you will go read some 500-page slow ass uh nonfiction or something like that. Just and I'm like, what
It
do
will
you
be
mean?
so good.
And then give it 5 stars, 5 stars. I'm like, what are you doing?
I still have to figure out what my preferred books are, but I do think that this was a little too much of the romance fluffy for me.
I think
I'm
we should
finding
do a like mid-year check-in. Like,
okay.
here's some of the books we read, some of the things we liked, some of the things we didn't like, and like what did we figure out about what we like? Because
And
I
it's
think we
the
kind
middle
of
of the
need to
year.
recap that. Yeah, I know. June will be
Yeah,
over
so
here
we can
soon.
do okay, so I don't have I got really bright. I don't have a pen and paper down here, but we'll have to keep note of that so we can draw up something for our next one. Maybe that'll be our next podcast. We just pop up and say mid-year check-in, you know.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Okay.
But that's a side note. I guess we're gonna have to get a little spoiler. Here's the thing: you kind of can't spoil this book unless you tell about the very specific reveal, the twist of it
So we're
all.
not going to talk
We're
about the
not gonna
twist.
talk about that.
No, we will not give the twist, but we will talk of the twist.
Yeah, we will let you know that Caleb didn't like the twist.
That was the only reason why I gave it an extra star was the twist.
Really?
Yeah.
But it had so much potential, and that wasn't it. I'll say this.
Hmm.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. I still gave this. I think did I give it a 3.5? I think I gave it 3.5.
I gave it a
Actually, I don't
solid three.
know. I don't know. I didn't post anywhere, so maybe nobody knows. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I think 4 is too much. 3 is too little.
I gave it a solid three.
Emily.
Somebody will like this one.
Emily gave it a 4. So we got a 3, a three and a
Okay.
half, and a 4.
Okay.
Shailene, hopefully she'll pop on here and she can tell us uh what it was. Yeah, Emily did. She ate this thing up. She was finishing. First of all, it's not a long book, folks.
No, it was
It's
very short.
300 pages,
I
350.
think I read it in a day and a half, which is pretty good for me because I'm usually like 3 to 4 days on my books. But I'm finding that I'm roughly around like a day and a half, 2 days at most.
Depending, like I finished a book yesterday. I finished it technically this morning, but less
Mhm.
than 24 hours, and
Mhm.
that's usually pretty good for me. If it's like a, little guy, I had to return my Brandon Sanderson, so I still have the audiobook, but I wasn't making any progress. I'm not burned out.
Which one?
The fourth book in the Stormlight, so it's 1,400 pages, and I was maybe 100 or 200 pages in, and it was just it's going to be an investment, and I
Mhm.
wanted to. I was like, I don't want to sit down and do this and then get like 2 other books this month.
Right.
So I was like, let me knock some stuff off. And it's been a good reading month. And then I've been jumping ahead on Sanderson. So if I don't finish his book this month, I still have plenty of time. I'll still be finishing. I only have 2 books left in that series. And then a couple books I've already read that I'll reread. And I'll finish out the whole thing by the end of the year. Plus, he's got a new book coming out I think September or October, that Isles of the
Mm.
Emberdark. So like I'll be able to read that.
Okay. I'm tapping because I'm looking for so Kindle. I don't know if you know or not, but it has a thing where you can go to your clippings. So I'm actually tapping through to see if I put any clippings in here, and I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
With the nature of how I was listening to this book, I didn't get a chance to do a lot of highlighting. However, I don't have my other book, the book
Oh,
I'm
I got a
currently
few.
reading. I have a
I got
lot
a
of.
handful in here. I got a handful.
I can share some of Shailene's as well.
Okay. I think I liked how some of they're kind of poetic on some of the things. So, like one of the ones that I ended up saving was like the sway of the sea and the tug of the tides. Love is moving, eternal. Love is a moving, eternal thing. Let us not be afraid of the wax and wane, the rise and the fall, the internal undertow. Each time our souls meet, let us submerge our bodies in the bright blue code and let the waves make us anew. A tear slid down the apple of her cheek. I love you, and I have loved you, and I will love you.
There it is again.
Yeah, that was definitely like one of my favorite ones. It was the first one that I ended up highlighting. I was like, oh, it really gave me Oh, this is gonna be good. This is
Yeah.
this is gonna be a nice love story. That's what I thought.
Shailene shared this one, which was from one of the earlier chapters. Um, My love for you could fill an ocean. There was an awful resignation to her tone, but it can't stop the tide of time.
That was
And
a good one.
the mystery in the building, like, why must Arden kill her every time?
Mm-hmm.
I did like the reasoning behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't, maybe it's the term that they use that I didn't really care for. So I feel like, lots of things get thrown around here, like Addie LaRue made a deal with a demon. You've got
Mm-hmm.
devils, you've got witches, you've got curses, you've got all these things. And I wasn't sure how it was going to land, and I was kind of excited for it, especially early on, to maybe get a little darker. And I just didn't feel like it got dark enough,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, because it was so flowery throughout the whole thing. I'm like, you needed something to kind of offset that,
Fluff.
and I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it.
It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't one of my favorites.
I still think we have an amazing track record for our book club,
Mm-hmm.
where, with the exception of the one book that we didn't finish, which is technically before, yeah, it is before Emily joined because she took forever to freaking join.
I'm gonna try it again.
But you're gonna read it, even though we DNF'd it, because you got book
Yeah.
3 like some
Yeah.
maniac.
I'm gonna try it.
But just looking at all the assets we
I
had.
want it. I didn't. I want it. It wasn't
Oh, you
where.
didn't apply for it?
No, I want it. That's why I'm
Oh,
like, oh, I'm gonna try it.
good luck, because that book was terrible.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna pull it off the shelf and I'm gonna try it.
All right, let me know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be joining you. Don't buddy challenge that bad boy, because I won't be participating.
You're like, oh
Um,
no.
but just this year alone, because we started doing StreamYard at the beginning of this year,
Mm-hmm.
13th Child you didn't like, but I think
Mm-mm.
overall most people liked it. Um, Adrian Young, Spells for Forgetting,
Mm-hmm.
pretty well liked. Beautiful Ugly, pretty well liked.
Mm-hmm.
We did a couple of our buddy challenges that are on here. We're not going to talk about those because you didn't like your book because you suck. And then The Lion Women of Tehran, God of the Woods, and now Our Infinite Fates.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, we have a good little, like, magical realism, some
Mm-hmm.
little bit of fantasy, some general fiction, mystery. I mean, we've got all over the place. We've done a
Mm-hmm.
really good job with picking books.
You forgot the games God's play.
Yeah, that was earlier at the beginning of the year because that one wasn't on here. And then
Mm-hmm.
we did one more. What was it? Oh no, Five Broken Blades was for something else.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do before?
I did have Fourth Wing on there, but we didn't actually like do Fourth
I wasn't,
Wing. It
yeah,
was just
participating.
there. It wasn't more of like a
Oh, you're
participation or
looking on
anything with
Fable,
it.
aren't you?
No, I'm actually looking at our notes.
Oh, here we go. I've got One Dark Window.
Oh yeah, how could we forget that? Because I
I don't
still
know
need to
because it's
read
been
the
my
two
favorite book.
twisted thingies.
Yeah, you need to read that.
I still got to read that.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep talking about this book because there isn't a lot to it.
There's not. There's really not a lot because I think more so if we were to go more in depth, then we would end up getting spoilery.
Spoilery,
And I
yeah.
don't want to get spoilery. I think it's kind of cool if we maybe just kind of chat. Because like you
I,
said,
I
I don't want to just give it away because somebody's gonna read it. Somebody's gonna like it. It's popular, right?
we have some questions in here that maybe we can talk about. However, I do
Mm-hmm.
want to say this. Um, the names in these questions don't match the names from the book.
I noticed that. I was like, I don't remember that
Now, I'm
being
be
like.
honest. ChatGPT has got like a small bout of terminal dementia or something. Lately,
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT has been giving me some of the wildest, most incorrect answers. So ChatGPT might have messed this up.
This could be it then. Okay.
But some of the things on here, like I think that at least the enemies to lovers parts, like how did you feel about the characters in terms of their relationship? I always was rooting for them, no matter when they whether they were in the past or not. Arden and whatever her name is, Evelyn is her current name, but
Mhm.
she they I liked Arden more than her. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I think she was. Maybe it's just because she didn't know and he did. I could feel, and yet his love just felt stronger. She didn't understand why she
Mhm.
felt an attraction to him, but he knows everything.
He knew.
And
He
so
knew.
I was kind of like, okay, Arden is my favorite character, my favorite part, and her sister.
Mhm.
Her sister was actually my favorite character because she's funny.
Yeah, her sister was. And what I remember, her sister was sick. I remember that was a thing, and she had to like make it to
Yeah.
a certain age. I think was it to donate like bone marrow or something.
She needed it. She's the match for it, and she has to die. Arden has to kill her before she's 18, and her 18th birthday is coming up, and she needs to donate this bone marrow before he kills her. So that's the whole premise of it all. Then
Okay.
her sister gets she gets an infection, which pushes back the donation and the surgery. And so
Mm.
she's worried Arden's going to find her before she has the chance to donate this and save her sister's life, hopefully. And so she's like, if he kills me, he's also killing my sister, and she's innocent. And I kept wanting her sister to kind of be Arden, which
Mhm.
didn't make sense because they've got to be the same age.
Mhm.
However, I think there's a twist in there, or somebody's lying about it. They could be faking dates, but I don't think they're the same age for the first time. I think they're 2 years apart,
Yeah.
and that's never happened in all of those years. I don't think it did. Emily's arguing with me. Emily is the most annoying person to have a book club discussion with because
Absolutely not.
if you differ in opinion, she just shits all over you.
If I had, I wish I had a mic. We should do this three way because I'd be jumping all over everything you're saying over there.
She
I
would.
love this book.
It's not like we didn't like it.
I
Are
just
we
didn't
not?
like the repetitive nature of it. Like you said,
I
um, like you would they would obviously they die, and then they would come back, and it was like the constant flipping between the different time periods and the back and
Yeah.
forth, and
I
it's
didn't like that style. I would have rather
mhm,
it did. There's a little back and forth in Addie LaRue, but what I liked is that it started in a linear kind of format and
yes,
traveled through time.
yeah,
And I no, it kept jumping back and forth. And while the yes, it did
hmm
go, but then sometimes it would jump way back to Siberia, and then it would jump to 1968, and then it would jump to
hmm
1922,
we
and
just
then
read
like
another book. What was our other book we read where it had all the jumping of the
God of
timeline?
the Woods.
Yeah. I
That
don't
one was
I
hard to
don't
follow.
like the jumping of the time. I think I like more of the linear, especially when you're listening to it because it's easier to follow. If you're listening to it and you're like, "Well, wait, what's happening?" And you have that constant back and forth. You're like,
But also
"Yeah.
in like Addie LaRue, Addie was constant. So
Mhm.
but these characters change. So you
Yeah.
don't know who's who, and you've got a lot of names and
Mhm.
different
I struggled
identities.
with that. I think that's another reason why I gave it the score that I gave it because it was very difficult to follow with the audio.
You can text Emily. She's over here. I disagree.
I didn't say it with that tone, sir. Their
It did
personality
have the
is the same.
it did have the
They were the same
creativity of
throughout
it
the whole
though.
time.
I don't
You
think
can
so.
tell who they were by their person and how they thought and how they spoke. The inner dialogue stayed the same. I could tell instantly who was who.
But you didn't listen to it, did you?
I
I was
listened to
just
it
about to
back.
ask, did she listen to it?
She did. She did both. She did
I
read.
did
She finished
him
it
and I
in
finished it
reading.
in my box.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, fair. Maybe you were just more into it than we were.
I love. I just want to say this one thing. I loved the little foreshadowing that all the stories had about each other. Like there's always one part in each of the sections, each of the chapters. There's like a little foreshadow for something that happened in the past. To me, that was the coolest thing because I looked forward to figuring out why she thought of that or why she said that. I loved how everything was laid out. Like I liked the structure. I didn't like the pacing. I felt like the ending was too rushed.
That's fair.
And that's the only reason why I took a star off. But I wish the book was thicker, and I wish she would have done more with the relationship in each story. Less stories, done more with the relationship with each story. Because to me, it was too insta love, and I didn't really get to see the relationship grow.
Well, I think that's because you really only have the relationship really isn't built on love as much as it is fate, because their relationship is a weird dynamic. And so while each year, each glimpse, you don't get to feel the relationship, you get to feel that that's what these threads that are winding them together is fate. And so I just didn't feel like, I always felt like their love was tenuous, and it always felt like they didn't build
But
the
you're
love.
supposed to feel that way until you read the last chapter about when everything started. And I can't spoil anything.
You can't spoil it, but it also confused me.
You have to read, when you read that chapter, that wraps it all up and it tells you why.
But I didn't think that doesn't feel like love.
Think you know what see, to me that made
She's over here arguing with me like I didn't just have to recap the book 20 minutes ago because I read it months ago. Listen, see, this is what I mean. She gets angry if you disagree with her. She's like, you didn't actually read the book, you idiot.
It's passion. It's not anger.
She said, well, yeah, you can come over here and argue with her when I hang up, because she's going to be yelling at me.
It's passion. When you really like something, you're going to say what it is that you think about it. For me, this one was just a little too, I find that I don't like the really fluffy, like, romance books. And I think because this one had the YA to it, I think that's why I'm thinking it's more of that fluffy. But I have read love stories where they are really good, but they're more like they're adult, like, necessarily. So they got a little bit more meat to it.
Young adult, from the perspective of a young adult, in both novels and like in real life, you don't really understand love. So it's easy to say like they're in love, and it's very just tenuous. It's not real. Like, but when you guys read Kennedy Ryan and you see them endure struggles and pain, and like that's what I was wanting. Addie LaRue, the love story in Addie LaRue is so good. And I just want to reread Addie LaRue because that feels very, you're invested as the reader in their whole love situation. And there's a fun little gimmick of like the name. And here the gimmick was he's going to show up and he's going to kill her. And if it was done in a humorous way, I don't think I would have liked it. So I like the way they took it, but less of them would have been good. Less flashbacks. Like if we had like 4 and you got to spend more time in them, that would have been nice. But nonetheless, Emily, stop throwing daggers at me with your eyes.
Love you.
Yeah. It was a good book. Truly. I still recommend this book. If you like stories like Addie LaRue, if you like stories like, I'm trying to think, even The 13th Child, this kind of had elements there where I felt like there was some love situations going on there, some fate and different things like that, that I really like. Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't finish that one.
Guys, that's her one DNF of the year, by the way. So you better not try and DNF this one, because
I don't have a physical for this one. This
you
is the
don't,
only
or
one
you
that,
do?
I do not. I do not have a physical for this one.
Well, you can't get it from the library because me and Emily both have a copy from the library. I've got one and she's got one over there.
Okay. So I
It's
have it on my
bigger
Kindle.
than I expected. It's like 400
Mhm.
something pages. 380 something.
Okay.
385. So like it's a little thicker than I expected.
I plan to, and this is actually, it's not just one book. It's going to be a series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see
I don't
how
know if
this
it's
one
going to
goes.
be a duology like to One Dark Window,
Hmm.
or if it's going to be a trilogy, but I am excited for it.
Ooh, I like the dedication.
Oh, I didn't read it yet.
To the child in each of us yearning to be special, take my hand, you little strange creature, and together we shall walk beyond the wall.
And
That's different.
then we get a map. And I love a book with a
Oh,
map.
we have a map.
And this is a nice simple map. Like I can remember this.
I'm
Oh,
excited. So we're gonna announce it.
yep.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun, dun.
it's June and we are going to be reading The Night in the Moth. And Emily's already over here talking shit because she said it's
I
halfway through
do
it.
I do not have the physical. So I'm just gonna tap my way to the beginning of the book so I can just go like this.
And she dropped it.
Oh no,
And
hold
it's
on.
gone.
And it's gone. Hold on. There we go.
There you go. See, it's all the same.
Yes, The Night in the Mall. So I'm gonna do this one by strictly with Kindle, and I will do audiobook
Yeah, I'll
for
be
this
getting the
one.
audio.
I heard all the things. I have heard all the things.
I've maybe seen a few mid reviews.
Hmm.
Some of the people that I follow on BookTube have some mixed reviews on it, but for the most part, the people that I trust, they seem to have liked it.
Everyone so far that I follow or talk to said that it was very good. So I am looking forward to it. Once my once my Everend credits refresh, this is going to be one of the ones that I grab through Everend.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same. It I really hope she because this is a romantasy. I
Hmm.
hope she with her last book, the Shepherd King duology, um, the romance was definitely a part of the story, but it wasn't a true romantasy in my. It was a
Hmm.
fantasy romance where fantasy took the forefront. I liked the magic system. I loved the world. The romance was actually kind of weak, especially who she ends up with, kind of.
Hmm.
I hated that matching. I wanted a different pairing. And I'm hoping she rights her wrong in this one and she builds up the romance in that. Emily, did you read One Dark Window?
No, I haven't.
She needs to get it together. She ain't reading nothing over here.
One Dark Window was good. I did enjoy One Dark Window. It took me a little bit to kind of figure out what was going on, but once I figured it out, I was all in.
What haven't I read, Emily?
Blood over Brayhaven.
Yeah,
Which you need to read.
it's over there. I did start Skyfall Elephants and I am struggling. It
Really?
is I was kind of bored. Like
I
I like
know.
the setup, but like I don't like him as a character yet. I'm only like 7 or 8% in. Like I'm not far.
Okay.
Just got introduced with the daughter and everything, and I'm just like, where are we going with this? It's going a little too
Keep going.
fast, maybe.
Keep going.
So
I did listen to, I think it was like the first 10%, and then I had to stop reading it for something else. I had to stop reading it for something else, and then I didn't pick it back up, but I knew we were supposed to read it. So I still have to finish it. It's actually in my Everand, and it's short too. So I feel like I could
Yeah,
finish
it's
it
10
in
hours.
probably a
It's
day.
pretty short. I still have it. It's gonna be getting. I think I can actually try and renew it now. I have 2 days left. Can I renew loan?
You should be able to.
Other patrons are waiting,
What?
so I got to finish it within 2 days. I can do that. I'm working this weekend,
Okay.
so I will try and. I'm 11% through, so I was actually
Okay.
farther than I thought.
It's
Um,
it's much. It's. I think I like the fact that it is a shorter book. instead of, being like a super long, drawn out something. From what I did listen to, I did find it enjoyable. It was just, again, trying to work and listen and answer
Yeah.
questions and all of that. It makes it very difficult. But I did definitely like what I listened to. I just got to pick it back up.
I've got Cormac McCarthy's The Road, and I'm going to be honest with you all. I really thought
Mhm.
I was picking up a book by the
Mhm.
author Justin Cronin. He wrote, I think there's one called like The Passage and something else. And I hear great things about this book. So I was at the Goodwill bookstore and I saw The Road and
Mhm.
the 2 word thing and like the style of the book. I thought it was that. So I pick it up and I start it and I'm loving it and I'm eating it up and I don't
Mhm.
have my book, but I've been annotating it. I
Mhm.
promise you, I don't make it more than a page without highlighting something or writing my thoughts down. It's really, really good. And now I did the graphic novel first, and the graphic novel. So in that one, you get mostly dialogue, and then you get the art. So as
Mhm.
I'm going through now, I'm remembering what I saw and some of the dialogue, and I'm like, oh, this is about to happen. And then you get like in the moment with the detail and the way that Cormac writes. I'm eating this damn thing up, and it's short. I mean, I've got less than an hour left to listen to it. It's all of like 2.5 hours long, went on my speed. I think it's like a 7 hour audiobook,
Oh,
but
that's
it's in these
good.
little paragraphs where you get like dialogue, and it's a son and a father, and they're going through this post apocalyptic world. And um, the only thing I will say is that if you think Our Infinite Fates was a little repetitive, every time this boy talks, he starts by going, Papa, I'm so sick of hearing, Papa, are we gonna die? Papa. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So didn't love that. But yeah, I'm enjoying the book so far. What are you asking for permission to download this, Emily?
No, I just didn't want to use a credit at
Yeah,
all.
you can use the credit because I'm gonna need it. So we're using an Everand credit because I we get ours on the 4th.
See, I used to get mine at the beginning of the month, but something happened and now I'm getting them at like the 16th or the 18th.
Oh,
So I don't know exactly what happened, but now I'm getting them. I have the next one that's coming on the 18th. And I'm reading King of Ashes this month. That is going to be one of my credits. My
it's
book
over
is
here.
upstairs. My book is upstairs on my nightstand. Yep, I got the same one. And then I am also going to read, of course, The Night in the Mall. I'm currently reading Almost There, which is the Disney retelling The Twisted Tales for Princess and the Frog Tiana.
Oh, is that the one you got at the library?
Mm-mm. No, I actually just got it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to read it.
We were talking about the different Disney things because you've got like the villains, and there's
Mm-hmm.
several different ones written by different authors.
I
So we were
picked
talking
up
about that.
I picked up Almost There first, and actually it's very close to the movie, but it has an alternate ending from my understanding. So
Okay.
I do like it. And then I'm telling you, I have been on a roll with these books. I read the first book in the Hunger Games.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Didn't we just talk yesterday?
Yeah, it's gone. I finished it.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen very often. I have been reading, like I said, I've been reading a lot of my books within like a day and a half, where usually it was like 4 or 5 days reading them. No, I've been eating these books up.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. I've never read the books. Obviously, I've seen the movies. We
Hmm.
own the books because I bought it from a garage sale where they were getting rid of all of their like kids YA novels. So I got the whole Lightning Thief collection,
Okay,
all of that, the Maze Runner series. I got a bunch of these series from this lady for like $10, and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy those.
absolutely. Oh, and
So
I read Can't Get Enough.
yeah, Emily finished that.
Loved it.
What I
Loved it.
assume you gave it a 5 star.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Emily as well. Yeah,
I
you
loved it. It was so good. Oh, it was so good. I think
Was it
book
for
2 is still my favorite. This Could Be Us, because I'm
oh,
all for,
Sid Barrett?
rebuilding, picking up the pieces. So that was probably, I would
Good.
say, yeah, it's got to be book 2 for me. It's like my
Emily said
favorite
book
out of the
one.
series. Book
I
1
would
was
rank
good.
it book 1, 2, and then 3.
She likes it in order: 1, 2, 3.
Book 1 I cried.
Book 1 hit me hard.
Book 1 I
Ashley
did cry. Yes,
cried.
I cried.
yes.
I cried too,
Emily, you
actually.
cry at
No,
everything.
I cried in book 1.
I had
Ashley,
happy tears.
do not cry.
I definitely had happy tears. But then again, I read that book like 2 years ago, and I haven't had like any books that bring me to tears. That
Yeah,
was book
did
seven.
you not read? Did you not cry on A Beautiful Life?
No, I haven't cried yet. I'm actually on part 3 of that book.
That's a 2 month journey.
It is a very long journey, but it's heavier where it's like you got to take it in bits and pieces,
I'm out.
because if you take too much of it at once, it's not healthy.
Um,
I think that's the best way to put it, is that it's not healthy, because it's just that heavy. Like, it's not where, oh, well, you're just reading about someone's issues. No, it's all of them. All of them have something going on. And it's not just like, oh, I broke a toe. It's like, no, you have someone who is addicted to drugs. You have someone that suffers from this disease and, had a terrible childhood. And you're like reading it and you're like, you gotta kind of, I don't want to say protect your peace, because technically it's not protecting your peace. But
yeah, it's a
you
lot on your
gotta
mental
be,
health.
exactly, exactly. And it's like, if you read too much of that at once, I feel like it wouldn't necessarily be healthy. But however, the way the book is written, oddly enough, I think it's kind of beautiful
It's
so
supposed to
far.
be that way, but I heard the end will. I'd be surprised
I haven't got there yet.
if you don't cry.
I
I would
haven't got
truly
there
be
yet.
surprised.
I have a feeling I know what's going to happen, just because I'm already expecting something to be like really, really bad. But I'm thinking I already kind of probably know what's going to happen, unless it's just completely left field of what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Fair.
I
I
don't
will say, I cried quite a bit during Viola Davis's Finding Me because I wasn't expecting
know.
it to be so heavy. Like
Don't you just love her more?
oh, absolutely. And I already absolutely adored her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think she's so funny and just so humorous and so
Mm-hmm.
sweet and genuine and real, and like she is a fantastic role model for people of any race, but specifically
Absolutely.
for black women, for black folks in general,
Mm-hmm.
because it's that book is not about how she overcame any of that stuff, because she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't feel like I ever survived it. It is who you are. It's how you who makes you up. And
Yeah.
without that, you aren't you. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was tearing that book up. I
Mm-hmm.
finished that in 24 hours because it was just so good. And surprisingly, you're like waiting, and I put this in my review. You're waiting for her to be like, and then I got this role and that was it. But then you see she's got movie roles. She was in what was the one with about the shoot. I'll have to look it up. Give me a second. But
Uh-huh.
um she was in this movie and it's such an iconic movie and I forgot she was
Fences?
even in it. What is it?
Fences?
No, no, but that is
Fences was a good one.
um well, first of all, of course, The Help, But no,
Okay.
it was a long one. I want to say it was like Joshua something, but movies and TV. Please hold. This is taking me forever. She's been in so many different things.
Mhm.
Um,
It is cold down here.
why can I? Oh, Antoine Fisher.
Yeah, she was the mom.
Yeah,
Uh
and
huh.
she's got to play. You know,
She always plays the mom.
and that mom was going through it.
Mhm.
Okay, she had it rough.
She always plays the mom. Yes.
The incredible movie, right?
Mhm.
And you're like, okay, but she was in a movie with Denzel Washington. She's in movies with Meryl Streep. And yet
Mhm.
she's still going home, and she's like, I'm not living in some big old house. You know,
Mhm.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm still sending money home. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to, get my nieces, my nephews, my sister, my bro, all of that.
Everybody.
And
Mhm.
like to this day, she's not living the way that you would expect a celebrity to live.
Yeah.
Um, and she's still, uh, I think probably the most powerful part of that is the evolution of the relationship with her father, because
Mhm.
that man was
Awful.
awful,
Awful.
so just violent
Mhm.
and abusive and awful. And to watch him heal himself
Mhm.
and then in turn heal her, heal all the people that he wronged as much as he could.
Mhm.
That woman stood by his side, and I'm like, my grandmother would have never. That man would have been in the dirt, but she stood by his side, and
I feel like I want
he
to read
got
it
back.
again just to like I don't like it's still very fresh, but I just feel like I need to read it again. Like I feel like that's one of those books that you could just read
I just,
often.
oh,
I feel like
I
you could
literally
read
could
it
read it
often.
again right now
Mhm.
because I think that was not a celebrity memoir. That was
No.
the kind of memoir that I want to read. It's just so inspiring. And so I have to ask myself some of the questions she asked herself, which is like, who do you want to be? And how are
Mhm.
you going to use what you went through? Because sometimes, like, I certainly didn't have like the easiest of childhoods, but you forget about it because you're not there anymore. You're like, I've come, a long way. But then when you're
Mhm.
like, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this, work's getting on my nerves or whatever, you forget all the things that you've been hoping for, praying for, working for, and you're just
Mhm.
like, yeah, but I just don't want to work today or whatever. You forget like, hey, I fought for where to be where I'm at, and like it just makes you more
Mhm.
grateful. And I
Yeah.
think I need to do a lot more reflection on that. And I'll tell you, Viola Davis's memoir is the main reason I feel
Absolutely.
anything right now.
And I love that when a lot of people speak of personal development, like in that space, that is actually one of the books, especially for women. Like I don't know if you probably see them, but how they have them on Facebook all the time. Probably because I share them all the time. But that book is always in every single stack for women
Yeah,
on personal development. And I mean, just to see how she just keeps going.
yeah.
You know, met with everything it
It's
takes,
never,
being an
oh, oh
ultimately
no, my
warrior,
life
all
is
of that.
so
Mm-hmm.
terrible. No, it's none of that.
Never that. Never that. I loved it.
Ugh.
Absolutely loved it.
And the other good book that I read this month, which is probably going to take the cake for the funniest title and author. You thought Chuck Tingle was good. Um, Harriet Tubman, live in concert by Bob the Drag
I
Queen,
saw that you finished that. I
was
remember you were talking about that book.
so good, Ashley,
I
because it
remember.
was informative, ridiculously hilarious. Um, just to think like, oh, all of our people, all these people from history come back, and it's not just the black folks, Abraham Lincoln's back, this, whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
just to hear them talk the way they talked, and to not only highlight Harriet Tubman, but also her little brother, the house slave,
Mm-hmm.
and the big, slave that they thought wasn't intelligent, wasn't this, and to just get to see some of their stories. I did not know Harriet Tubman was believed to be narcoleptic.
Oh.
So she'll just fall asleep for long periods of time, which is obviously difficult for someone running from slavery.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think she's
I've
like
never
running
even
into
heard
her.
of that.
Yeah, look it up because I was like,
Okay.
did he just add that into the book to be funny? But no, they do believe she had a
Yeah.
condition at least in which she slept more often than normal. And yet
Okay.
she made, I don't remember the number, but it is dozens of trips to free slaves.
She did make a lot of trips. I do know that. She
And
did
I'm
make a
just like,
lot of
and
trips.
never once got caught. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
to hear some of, she reminded me in the way that Bob did the voice of all these people and everything. She reminded me a lot of my grandmother, and just like no nonsense, gonna tell it like it is. It's gonna sting, it's gonna slice, it's gonna cut, but you need to hear it and you need to understand it. And like it just comes from a place of wisdom. And there was a lot of, obviously, Bob the Drag Queen being queer. There was a lot of like identity. And I think my favorite quote in that was, I had, in that, this is going to be paraphrased because I can't remember it exactly, but I have a trouble accepting my blackness because my blackness has a hard time accepting me. And that was a good quote because being biracial myself, you toe the line. I'm never black enough. I'm never white enough. I'm always too black. I'm always too white. There is no in between. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just on race. And then you have everything else that comes into play. And so I really enjoyed some of that. I want to read so much more, but the music, actually, I'll send it to you on Spotify. He has
Okay.
two songs. Because obviously Harriet Tubman comes back and wants to write a song to tell their story,
I
and
remember. I
an
heard this
album.
from some. I was listening to something and they were talking about the release of this book.
These two songs are so good. I've got them on my Spotify liked list because I love it that much.
Okay.
But I'll send them to you because it's hilarious yet really informative and well done.
Okay. I have
So,
to. I will listen to the songs. I will. You have
um
to send them to me.
I will. Well, we've hit our hour mark, and though we spent a good 40 minutes talking about the actual book we came here to talk about,
It's okay.
um, we needed to catch up, and we needed this.
We did. It's been way too long, and we just needed a break to go back to, the things that make us, happy, our books. You know,
Exactly.
it's just
So
something where you
we'll,
can actually talk about the books that you're reading, and some of the books that we're reading are the same, or maybe it's books that I want to read. Maybe you have books that you want to read of mine, because Ashley picks the best books. I'm just saying.
yeah, no. I don't know. I saw the Let Them theory at the library, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna
Do
pick it up.
it.
Mm-mm.
I just passed it on my Kindle too.
I'm not doing it. But um,
I just want
I
to make.
did think about it.
I have 2 points that I need to make before we go for the night.
Okay.
One, I am currently at 23% in Miss Form.
Whoa.
That is a huge win. I am on chapter 8 of that book. That is a huge win for me. Right.
Is it a huge win because you're 23%, or a huge win because you're actually liking it?
Both.
Oh, thank God.
I will give both because I finally got over that hump of trying to figure out what the
It's
heck
a
was
tough
going on.
beginning.
Yes. So I finally got over the hump. I'm enjoying it. And two, because you like to point this out so much, my reading speed as of recently for my audio is at 1.65.
I told you. You guys don't argue with me. You'll be at
1.65.
you'll be at 2 by the end of the year.
But Hunger Games, so our Infinite Fates, Hunger Games, the Tiana book, they're all very slow on narration. And I'm
Oh.
like,
I
this is
think
this is
Everand slows them down.
I feel like they have to because I'm like, I feel like it's just the dog age.
Yeah, I feel like I fell off a bridge and hit my head, and I'm like, I can't
Yes.
understand words anymore.
No, it's like I don't need it to be super duper Caleb fast, but I need to be able for it to you're having a conversation and it's going and yeah, those three
That's
books were definitely much, much, much slower.
two
I
big
have to do a
wins.
recap with I have to give you a recap of the books that I recently read.
Well, I think we should get together next week sometime and
Okay.
pop on here live again, maybe, or maybe we'll just record it and put it out there as something, or we'll just do reading sprints. We'll do something.
Maybe Thursday. Let's see what Thursday looks like.
Okay. Oh, Thursday's Juneteenth, and Emily gets it off.
I did too.
You do?
Watch it.
Oh, very nice. Oh, well, you work for the bank,
Yes, I
so
do.
that makes sense.
I am
I
off,
don't.
and I'm also off on Wednesday.
Okay, well,
So I got Wednesday and Thursday next week.
okay. Well, I'm good with that. We'll pencil it in tentatively right now, and maybe we'll just I don't know. We'll do something to hang out and have a good time and catch up on some of the books we talked about and
Sounds,
all the other fun stuff.
sounds good.
And you'll have your
Fun.
space figured out.
Hopefully.
I'm
And
gonna
I
text
did
you every
join
day.
the Tiny Desk. I joined the Tiny Desk Club, and I'm officially a fan. It is literally just enough for my work laptop, a monitor, and a mouse.
Oh, that's real small.
Oh, I love it. I have to send you a picture. I love it.
Yeah, I thank you. You sent me the video, so I did get to see it a little bit.
Mhm. And it fits right in the corner. You can't even tell it's in the living room. It's just right in the corner.
That's too little for me. I got a big old desk.
I didn't want my living room to have all that desk in it anymore because for like the last 6 years, it's always been like the center of the living room because I've always worked from home. Like even when I was at where you were, it was fully remote,
Yeah.
So it was just like there and raising Hammy and potty training and all the things. It's just life happened around that one desk. But now I'm like, my life doesn't revolve around this desk anymore.
But you could bring the big desk down in the basement so you have a backup.
It's right here.
Oh, okay. Is that where you're sitting?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not mine anymore. I gave it away.
It'll work out. You'll get it all set up and figured out.
We will. We'll definitely get it figured out, and I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yes. All right, folks. We're gonna sign off, and I've got to go. Somebody's downstairs because after the softball game, they came back to our house so that our kids could play together, and we've just been ignoring
Just
them.
left them for the last hour.
I warned them. So we're gonna go catch up with them and make sure my kids ate their dinner because it's probably colder than all dirt down there. But this was fun. Night in the Moth is coming up. I will be on vacation the week of the 4th, so the live show won't be till we get back on the 7th or later. So I imagine it'll be around this time again. We might stick with Fridays. I don't know. I mean, we hang out. I don't care if anybody joins us. Emily will be there because I make her come. But I like talking about it.
I know she does.
She does.
We'll figure out something.
Cool. All right, everybody. Have a good night. I'm gonna log us off. And until next time, we're gonna say
Happy reading.
look at that. All right. Good night.